back. Another episode. Side seat driver. I'm Andre Wiley. I'm your host. And I obey traffic laws. All right. Turn this down. Slaving the heat for you. Welcome. Another episode. Side Seat Driver. The podcast produced by the commute for the commute. I'm Andre Wiley. I'm your host. And today I want to get into a little more about the personal, the physical part of the what James Altucher calls the daily practice that I've used for the past year to year and 3 months now, and I don't follow it as rigorously as I should. I probably should follow it more rigorously, but I don't, because I don't know why. I guess I'm scared of what could actually happen if I did. What if I follow the daily practice and it doesn't work as well as it does for the next guy over from me? Which leads me into the point of this particular podcast, which is the holes in our lives. Now, most people see a hole, or say for instance, somebody says, oh, I have a hole in my heart or a hole in my life, and people will see that as a quote-unquote negative connotation. And I'm all about exposing things to the real. And as a cardiovascular technician, I understand the function of the heart and how it functions with the rest of the body. And I mean, depending on who you talk to, as early as the first trimester, you have a heart, or you have a hole that turns into a heart. And really the heart, all the heart is an empty organ with 4 chambers and a bunch of electrical conduits around it, and along with, you know, neurological conduits and things of that nature. So really, yeah, everybody has a hole in their heart. Of course you have a hole in your heart. That's what makes your heart your heart. Actually, you have 4 holes in your heart. So, you know, multiply that by 4 and that's what you got. But the reason why you're alive, the thing that makes you you, is the blood fire. Well, we call it blood fire. The blood fire that runs through that hole. Now stay with me now, because this is important. If you want to be successful, at least from what I've found and what I've experienced and my own form of success, which is finally getting rid, for me, it was finally getting rid of that feeling of inadequacy, that feeling that they just see me as blank. Well, who is they, you know, and are you a mind reader? All this other stuff I'll get into later on another episode. But what it boils down to is your heart is a hole for a reason. You have to let in the actual lifeblood, or the blood fire, whatever you want to call it. You have to let that in order to get life out of the heart. Without blood, all the heart is a hole. So when you have that hole that you feel like you got to dig yourself out of, what you're saying is, I have no blood. I have nothing to sustain the life that I'm trying to pump out. So you can do one of 2 things. You can become very self-aware, figure out what that blood is and how it actually translates into pumping life into your existence, or you can keep going at a low volume to the point where your heart doesn't know what to do anymore and just fails. That's really it. If you don't know what your lifeblood is, what your blood fire is, if you don't know what that blood fire is in your life, you need to take a good, strong, healthy look at what's making you tick. I've been reading The Rich Employee by James Altucher, and he brings up some very good points. I was one person who was just fighting the establishment because I figured I was supposed to be part of it. I have 2 degrees, 3 certifications, and a whole host of experience in multiple fields, and I felt like I was good enough to be the boss. Well, the only person good enough to be the boss is the person good enough to be the boss. It's very hard to understand, and it's very complicated system, to the point where I am just now figuring it out with the help of, how many books did I read last year? 12 books. I mean, an unlimited, ungodly amount of research on YouTube, finding people that I love to listen to, whose message resonates with me, and in a teaching style I can comprehend. And all I know now is that I know nothing. And I'm good with that for now, because now I'm open to learning. So, you know, self-aware is the word, I guess, of the day. Become self-aware. Know what you're good at, and know that you're good at it, because that was where I was messing up. I knew I was good at stuff, but I didn't know that I knew that I was good at stuff. Because when you know that you know you're good at something, that means you know how to go forward. Don't think about any of your weaknesses, because you already know them inside and out. You talk about them, you created them. Now start talking about your strengths and see your life change. Keep working on it every day. Write down 10 ideas about what you're good at. Write down 10 things you're good at. And then tomorrow, write down another 10 things you're good at. And then the day after that, write down another 10 things you're good at. Really sweat. Make your brain sweat. Quit taking it easy on your brain. Make your brain sweat, and then you will go to sleep at night, because your brain will need it. And then you'll sleep 8 hours because your brain will need it. Start using your brain. I'm out. Side seat driver. Keep on trucking, baby.